this team can look sharp at their best in comparison to Bait. So the issue now is just trying to get to that point, right? Like they've drafted a slower draft with Doom and Elk.
This area, John, fights always seem to break out in this area. Leonidas, no, not going to find the stun for himself. It's always about getting this ward on this cliff. That seems to be where the fight always happens. It's like both teams rush as 5 to get the ward down, and whoever gets the ward down is generally the one that wants to fight, right? The other one, understanding they're at the vision disadvantage, they don't want to be around the area.
Yeah, it's been a lot of emphasis on that one. It's such an interesting cliff as well, because I feel like it's a very easy spot to de-ward. But it holds so much importance for these early runes. At the very least now, Sand King Gómez should be able to secure 2, unless they let something slip by. But you've got the Elk, you don't really want to make that mistake early on. Just get the bounties, get a little bit more in your lane, and kind of get off to a very stable start here for Sand King Gómez. And looks like they will. In fact, Bait did not opt to pick up any of the bounties. That is pretty big to give out to an Elk.
Boundless is out though. They've connected on 2. 9 dropping extremely low. When the glimpse back, they do secure a kill. Stominant able to get first blood. Ducho trying to chase down Lodine will find one for himself, but now Yambura's in trouble. The slow is there with the Frost Blast, and even though they do land the Tar Bomb, it's not going to be enough. Yambura might have to go back to the fountain and reset, but he's going to be just fine. Going back to that ward for a moment, it's going to give Lodine some extra value, by the way, because he can unblock his small camp and he can de-ward on the cliff as they are going bottom lane as we speak. 9 is once again gonna fall, and that does mean a walk of shame to come for him.
Yeah, it just goes back to, again, the Pugna in early levels with Doom. It doesn't feel like it does enough. You're starting off with an early trialing coming out here as well. They do manage to block the large camp and de-ward, but they don't unblock their small camp, so just no camps at all here. I like this movement out from Bait. Just play hyper aggressive down bot, get these kills, apply that pressure onto Ducho early on. That does mean you're leaving certain lanes open. You know, like the top lane's going to be very, very, very safe for Leonidas in the first few waves. Although eventually you reconnect Magnus plus Clinks. Not the most kill threat. I suppose you could use the Tar Bomb slow to line up for skewer back threats, but it might not be enough to really get that, and I don't know if that's really enough to shove Leonidas away. Like a Lich is a very good trading support, even up against the Clinks early on. I think the Lich still shines, and once he has Frost Armor up, you're not too scared of copying some extra right clicks there.
No, you certainly are not. I kind of wonder as well with this Lich, like keeping in mind I haven't had the pleasure of playing it yet, but I'm wondering at what point Sinister Gaze is going to be higher value than Frost Shield at level 2, right? Because it's like, even now, had you had the Gaze, you may have been able to stop the Skewer, land the Blood Grenade, and then land the follow-up stun. It's still doing a hell of a lot of damage here from Yambura with the Frost Blast, but I just question, like, is the Frost Shield so much better than Sinister Gaze at level 2? Because level 2 is generally when you want to try and secure a kill if you can.
It's a good point. I feel like Sinister Gaze is just such an awkward spell. Like, as a channel, it doesn't last too long. Its cooldown's pretty massive. Like, it's kind of just awkward. I think that's the issue with the Gaze right now. It's a good bit of control, but I know. I feel like that spell still needs a couple of tweaks. Maybe if it had a bit of a safer cast range, feels a little bit better. We'll see down the line when Yambura does pick that up to tie in with his Alk. So far, there's been some good skewer backs on Leonidas, but he is still farming relatively well. Like, he is not being slowed down, which is good news for the side of Sand King Gómez.
Ducho is though.
Ducho.
Stonebank able to secure his second kill of the game on the Monkey King is mid lane. This is what I hate. Like, Stominant can just rotate like this onto the mid laner. And he might actually have him. That's the worst part. Stominant, very fire up by Lund. He's going to be okay. But Stominant has successfully just forced Lund back towards the fountain. And I suppose Lund can't do anything about it. He has no mana, no HP. He just has to walk away.
Yeah, it's a rough lane for Lund. Again, matchup against Void Spirits, probably just straight up Void Spirit favorite, especially if you do manage to connect your remnants. Then he's very familiar with how the Void Spirit plays out. And, you know, he just stat pad as well on the Void Spirit. Same thing goes for Pango, but it does feel easier for the Void Spirit to just go for an early stat item, the Bracer in this case coming out for Dendi. And that just gives him control of the lane. Like, you can't afford to have your supports rotate here on SKG as well, because it's a Lich Pugna. They don't really rotate all too well, which is why, again, like, I raise my question on that Pugna. Like, it's not helping the lane too much for Ducho. It's not able to rotate onto mid. It's just kind of not doing much in this lineup for now in the laning phase.
That certainly is not. So far, bait off to a real nice start. Very slight net worth lead their way, but it feels like every lane has pretty much gone their way, apart from maybe the top lane, which has been pretty even. Meanwhile, mid, oh, that's a very nice Aether Remnant from Dendi. Lund is still going to be okay, as Dendi did not have the Resonant Pulse to follow up with. Nevertheless, though, very back and forth this mid lane, but the CS is really what feels like matters, and Dendi is having a much better time.
Yeah, he's again got control. He's had pretty good lane control since that rotation out from Stominen to just cut off Lund, giving himself a lot of space there on Dendi. Just get what he wants out of that lane. Still a really solid start for Bait, but not the worst in the world for SKG. Like, you're happy enough that Leonidas is getting the game he wants. You're worse. You probably feel really bad about Ducho. Like, I feel like the Doom timings are probably the most sensitive, because you work yourself into like the Vanguard Midas Octarine nowadays, and that's just really timing dependent on how much value you'll get from your Octarine and your Midas just from how fast you farm. And again, it's been a slower lane for Sand King Gómez there.
Very close call in the mid lane. Dendi almost dropping as Nine tries to show up as well with the Nether Blast, but unable to get it as they are fighting over power runes. Lowdyne able to pick it up. Obviously, the regen cancelled off immediately. Lund, in the meantime, going to get glimpsed away by Lowdyne. Nine is still chasing, though. Nine cannot go for too much more. I mean, to be fair, he had Decrepify and Nether Blast. He could have thrown out one more, but probably wouldn't have been enough, so he just won't bother wasting his mana.
Yeah, it's, I mean, the Pugna can try to keep up these chases, but your magic damage output is not that high at this point in the game. Like, you're level 3, sure, but the enemy heroes are not too far behind in XP. In fact, they are ahead from all those kills they've found. So you don't really have that kill op. And again, this strong start for Bait in the lanes allows them to do what they want here. Trying to sneak in for the Wisdom Rune, at very least.
Lowdyne. He's trying. Kinetic Field is there. He might actually have it if he doesn't die, and yeah, he's fine. Nine, the one to be forced to get out of there as the glimpse back is out from Lowdyne. Nine, trying for the deny out, will not make it. Stonebank, able to secure his third kill as Lowdyne does successfully take the Wisdom Rune. And Stominen will find the other across the map. It's a 4-1 now. Bait just getting so many objectives off the map at once. As Dendi now jumping in mid, or rather, Dire Jungle onto Yambura. Stun is going to be there, but Stominen is around to secure the kill on the Clinks, which honestly isn't a bad thing, because it just speeds up your medallion timing and gives Stominen some solo pick-off potential.
Yeah, you don't mind at all. 5-2 start for Bait. Everything lining up their way. Sand King Gómez just having such a slow draft. Like, their lanes are slow. They might find this counter kill though.
They may. Stominen, he will eventually die to Lund. So nice little pickup here for the Pangolier. First kill for him. Bit of a shame they weren't able to scout out this Radiant Triangle, which has been stacked to the absolute teeth here as Stonebank finding a fourth kill now. Meanwhile, mid lane, Nine being jumped on the Pugna. Dendi, out of Astral Step charges, could be in a pretty awkward position now. It's the Rolling Thunder just completely trapping him between the staircase. And eventually Lund should have it, but no. The Resonant Pulse Shield proving to be enough through the swashbuckle. And now Lund might need to be careful. Stonebank still going after more, finds Ducho.
It's a favorable core-to-core matchup, even with the Vanguard up on the Doom. Monkey King doesn't care too much about that durability. Bait getting everything out of this movement. Like, they're collapsing mid. There's no answer in the side lanes. The one thing that they're not handling is Leonidas, but with how many kills you're finding in Stonebank, you don't mind. Monkey King's keeping up. They aren't really able to fully contest these stacks in the top jungle, but the pressure's on. Like, Sand King Gómez, your biggest issue now is not that your Alk isn't farming, it's that you're sacrificing your Doom and your Pangolier in a pretty big way. They are starting to lag by a fairly good margin in comparison to the heroes coming out from Bait, although, to be fair, not by too much. It's only really Stonebank as well and Bait that's pulling ahead in a big way. So it's relatively even. My issues going forward, again, for Sand King Gómez, where's the fight in this lineup? How do you get control? How do you pin down Dendi if he still has steps? Well, maybe we'll see now as they TP down bot.
They committed Doom already here. I believe Ducho did not want the glimpse to be committed onto the Doom because Stonebank was waiting in the wake, and well, sadly, Lowtine is going to survive the Doom damage. So nothing going to come out of this apart from the Doom being able to survive a little bit longer. Stonebank is 2 levels ahead of Ducho right now. Monkey King vs Doom matchup, it's not very fun. Meanwhile, Dendi, having a look around for a power rune, is going to find a shield rune up at the top rune spot, and he's going to be protected there by Stominant. So far for SKG, I mean, they're really not having any luck as Stonebank finds another one. Lowdine to take it this time around, but this Doom has 0 game.
Yeah, he's got nothing. Trying to mid again.
Dendi's pretty low on mana, but he has another step. Not really too much of a chance of him dying here unless he completely messes up. He's going to be just fine. I suppose the only real saving grace for SKG is the fact that Leonidas is farming.
Yeah, it does feel like he has to put this game on his back, make this farm worthwhile on the Alchemist. Radiant's not too far off now for Leonidas. Although they're rotating onto him. Good read out. Does TP away in the nick of time as that smoke movement from Bait tries to catch him off guard. So he gets himself to safety. He's got some stacks still in the triangle. That is going to be an open tier 1 tower, though, for the side of Bait to take. And again, like, even if you're finding this farm on your Alk, I still see issues with connecting. Whereas for Bait, it's really straightforward. You've got stuns on a lot of your heroes. You've got repositioning spells. You've got team fight coming out from your Magnus and your Monkey. Like, you have everything you could possibly hope for here. Whereas for SKG now, they have to aim for this long game. Like, stall the game out long enough that Ducho maximizes the Midas, starts to get his own build-up, gets the Octarine, gets a Blink BKB, and that's when you can kind of play. Like, this timing on Doom and Alchemist, but it's going to take a lot of time here, Mike.
Yeah, that it will. At least he does have the Radiance up now. Like, Leonidas can still carry the game for his team quite easily with the right amount of farm. Even if the rest of his cores are very low in terms of gold and net worth, they can still have the option of playing the slower game as Stonebank. Glimpseback is going to be there onto the Doom. This time around, you do have Leonidas to try and help out. Problem is, he's stuck in the Wukong's command right now as the Doom. Ducho, he's not backing out of there. He moved back in. Maybe a little bit tilted here, John.
It looked like he was trying to line up for the Doom. Doesn't manage to get it off, and he did manage to sidestep the Boundless, but again, without the Doom, they couldn't follow through.
Meanwhile, mid lane, they're just losing them 1 by 1. Yambura, 9, and Ducho are all gone across the map. There's now Bait. They are looking for that mid-tier 1 tower, and it's not going to take them too long to have it.
It's going to be a quick one. You've got the output to kind of take that out now as well. They spot Ducho again.
Oh, Ducho. He's had such a tough time already. Glimpseback is there, Lund. He's going to be sent right back as Ducho is all by himself, committing the Doom, but it means nothing. Leonidas at least will find Lowdine. Not a good trade. Maybe they could try to secure Dendi, but he has to simulate. And now Stonebank, man, he's just moving up so confidently. Boundless Strike is out. They just want to burst down 9, and they will find him, but Dendi's going to drop for this. A risky play And I can't say it pays off for bait.
Nah, they definitely overextend just for.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Doom off. Your team was ready to back you up on that one. So just not lining up these opportunities for Sand King Gómez, the side of bait. I'm in a very comfy position in this game. Not too far behind the Alchemist for Stonebank. You're pulling ahead now on Dendi and Funnick in comparison to Ducho and Lund. And for the side of SKG, I mean, again, it just comes back to the support duo. Like, it's not the players, for sure. I'm not saying they're playing it wrong, but what do you expect a Lich and Pugna to do? We even would say a Pangolier rotation. Even that doesn't sound that amazing. Like, it has to be pretty much all their heroes collapsing at once onto maybe one or two targets.
Well, we saw this against Shopify as well. They seem to love focusing the off lane of SKGs. Now Ducho going to get glimpsed back. I'm not sure what it is, but it happened in that previous series for SKG as well. Ducho's just been targeted over and over again. He's 5.5k net worth, not even 5.5k net worth, at 15 minutes in as a Doom. Still trying to farm up the Midas.
Yeah, he just didn't have a lane that you can really play into. Like, again, you talk about the Pugna, you talk about its value and decrep. I feel like if you're getting a Pugna just for decrep more than anything else, it's probably not the best Pugna game.
Dendi getting stunned up, maybe just baiting for his team though, because Stomminen was in the back. There's that decrep I talked about. Nine's going to be able to survive as they'll try to move on to Stomminen. And they should have him. Meanwhile, RP to the south has found the Alchemist. So Leonidas is gone. Doom was committed once again onto the Monkey King, but he's still fine. Stonebank now getting caught up by a Rolling Thunder, but he's still alive. Life drain him up. The Swashbuckle won't land. He looks like he's going to survive the Doom, as they have found Nine. The Pugna's down. Stonebank's alive. I suppose it could have gone worse, but that was a pretty bad scenario for SKG.
I think that's probably one of the worst outcomes for them, actually. Wasting Doom, losing your Alk. At this point, losing Dutra is probably not meaningful at all. But losing Leonidas is a big one.
Yeah. There goes Yambura as well. Stomminen. It's the Clinks gameplay right now. You see a squishy pos 5, you know you've got a free kill. There's just no escape.
Yeah, it's just you've hit this timing already. With a Solar Crest up, these supports are really squishy. Maybe not the Pango because he does have a Pavis and his Decrep, but everyone else, well, the Lich is pretty free game. Even though he does have Frost Armor 3, it's just not enough. And if you're SKG right now, I mean, I do appreciate they're trying to take some fights. It's really just down to stall out, sacrifice your supports and farm. Just sit back, build up, hope for the best coming out there. You are playing into really big timings from bait. Full Harpoon up for Funnick. Desolator's been up for Stonebank for a while into BKB. Everything's kind of stacking up, but you gotta stem the bleeding. Just don't sacrifice your cores. If you feel like you can't take these fights, just have Yanbor and 9 die. But don't have Leonidas and Dutra up front like this.
What lane? Ducho? Speaking of being on front.
Yeah. Like that.
I mean, yeah. What do you do? Like, he's died 7 times, and I swear to you, it's been all of the pot lane. Like, it might be about time to leave that area.
Pretty much. Like, just play jungle, maybe play top lane instead. You've got vision to protect you there. Mid tower under siege. Fortify will stall just for a little bit, but is still set to fall. Sand King Gómez.
Oh, here you go. Look at this, John.
Yeah. Gameplay.
Yeah, the Crepper fight just means they'll fight 2. Dendi fights a double. On to another. Aether Remnant. They'll at least pick up Low Diamond. There's your Doom out. That's a big target on Dendi. Meanwhile, to the right, Leonidas has been caught. Can they kill him? He's a tanky boy, but not tanky enough. Leonidas is gone. That is your saving grace on SKG. as Lund is still trying to fight but decides better off, it does roll out. It's just the thing. Like, you kill the mid Void Spirit, it's great. You lose your Pos 1 Alchemist, not so good. That is the only guy that's going to carry you through this game if you're SKG.
You're still really happy in bait. Like, then he doesn't mind that sacrifice. They might find more.
They could find Stominant. They should find Stominant. He's left some archers behind, but he's going to drop. Problem is now Ducho's in trouble again. 9 also getting caught out, so he'll go down. Ducho harpooned back towards Funnick, and Ducho is just dead. At least he got a Crimson Guard before he died.
Yeah, that's a pretty big way to mitigate a lot of this output coming out from the Monkey King and even to an extent the Void Spirit as well. So it's a big durability item. It does provide something in these fights. But yeah, just keep stalling. Like, you're not quite ready in Leonidas. Maybe by the time you get the BKB plus the AC, that's when your Alk can shine. For bait though, very, not exactly clean, but a very good game coming out from them. Very consistent. They just understand what they have to do on the map. They've been aggressive. They've not been relenting. Stominant has been really effective on his rotations. There's simply not enough detection to pin down the Clinks. And Dutra's died here so many times. Just probably won't die now with a Crimson, but you know, it's kind of dicey.
Here we go. Stominant, he's around 3-4 heroes here from SKG. It's just the strength though. Like, this hero can just give you so much information. Skeletal walk lasting 35 seconds at level 1, but it's an 18-second cooldown. He'll just keep scouting. They don't have the sentries to give the information over that he's around them right now. So he knows exactly where Leonidas is farming. He'll see Ducho as well. Oh, and they're going to go for the Tormenting. He's going to hang around this area, it seems.
You can steal this, but probably not worth the risk. All right.
But he knows there's no vision. He knows he's safe here. He could just keep hanging around waiting for his team, who have smoked up. Bait are slowly but surely making their way over to the Roshan pit now.
Yeah, it's a quick one.
Right.
They've got the output with Stonebank. I mean, there's not much to be scared of in clearing out this Roche. SKG just don't have control in that forward area of the map, so a nice objective to take for bait should enable them to start gunning for more objectives, maybe even consider the high ground if they take a very big team fight off the back of this. And for Sand King Gómez, again, we're not at a point yet where your Alchemist is fully safe. You do at least have the Basher up on Lund, so there's some utility coming out from Pango, working onto the Ags next to have those additional swashes, which can lead to some pretty good situations where you do get a bash off. But again, it's going to take time. It's all about time. We've been saying that for Sand King Gómez for maybe about 10 minutes now, and it feels like maybe 5 more minutes. At least the BKB and Leonidas. That could lead to something.
I mean, maybe. We'll see. SKG. I'm going to try and make some form of a play. Apologies for the noise, by the way, John. Someone's come over. The dog's very excited, apparently. I promise that isn't my dog dying or anything like that, you know? She's just a very... she's a crazy dog.
Just
SKG?
like the owner.
Yeah. Hey, there's no need to talk about my wife like that, John. My goodness. SKG. Don't worry, John. She's not listening. It's all right. Smoke up. Mid lane.
Passing the buck.
I mean, they could jump in. Blinks up on Ducho. Oh, Funnick's the one to jump in. Nice skewer back into the RP. He's found Lund. Can they get him though? Dendy's still going with a double damage rune. It's just so much damage being pumped down, but he's gone too far. Never mind. He'll still be able to astral step away. All that for Ducho. It's still a great pick-off here for bait, but it felt like there could have been so much more.
Yeah, I mean, Funnick could have had a blink RP moment right there with the skewer back, but plays it conservatively, tries to lock in Lund, not quite enough to really get that opportunity on the Pangolier. They did hold onto the Wukongs as well from Stonebank, so just not leading to as much output. But you take care of the Doom. Granted, respawn is a few seconds, so you don't really mind too much on SKG. you still have the Doom ready as well in the respawn. So you're not going to be able to gun for too much more here on bait. But the message was sent, Mike. You know, they've sent that message. Like, I blinked into the middle of 3 heroes and I didn't RP. It could have been worse, guys. You know, Funnick just making them think twice about what happens from the moon, man.
It's the harpoon meta, dude. It's just, that's all you want, you know? Who cares about the 3-man RP? It's cooler if I harpoon and skewer them back. That's the play.
I mean, they could have won that team fight outright, but, you know, cool factor does take place. You know, it's a factor. It's a factor.
It's important, Jonathan. It's important.
Yeah.
What's the play from bait now? Like, they've held on to the Aegis. They've still got a 6k advantage against an Alchemist Doom. So, really, it feels like a 15k advantage right now for bait. Just taking more towers, just controlling the rest of the map. But surely they want to try and make another play while this Aegis is still up, which is up for another minute 40.
Jeez.
So now with the Octarine core up on Funnick, seems like they'll be going rather soon.
This is such fast farm coming out from Funnick. Octarine up, more spammability on his spells, more opportunities to skewer back, to blink forward, to RP. They've really got everything they need. I think for SKG, their high ground defense is pretty on point. Like, you've got the threat of the Ice Spire plus the Chain Frost in the middle. The roll in a pretty compressed area can feel amazing. They just need to execute on that. For bait, no worries here, though. Again, they're pretty much in control of this game. They have been in control of this game since we started off. And Sand King Gómez just looking a little bit shaken. I did not expect this game to look dominant for either side, but Bader just crushing the side of Sand King Gómez. Maybe crushing a few of those hopes as well if they find this win in that trip to Bali.
Mid lane. Ducho, he knows they love him. 10th death of the game for Ducho. Yesterday, John, we had a bit of a rage quit moment at the end of the game.
Yep.
Hopefully we won't be having a repeat of that from Ducho, but I wouldn't blame him, John, I'll tell you. It's been a rough one.
Yeah, it's a rough one. And his lane just not going the best. They first picked his Doom. They give him a Pugna partner, which I'm not sure if that's something he called out for. Probably not. I just don't see a world where Doom Pugna's the scariest lane. So it's probably just frustrating because he knows that
Leonidas?
Oh.
He's in the middle of nowhere. Nullifier out, harpoon up from Funnick. No RP being committed though. Has popped the BKB. But that's the BKB used up now. Gone for 80. Bait still have pretty much all their abilities up. So if they want to try high ground, I think it would be a decent enough time for it, even without the Aegis. They will not, however.
He was trying to just walk from triangle into acid spray on the camp right after they lose their tier 2. So maybe expecting, I don't know, bait to go for a reset. Probably a bit optimistic. Those are some big resources to waste here coming out from our Alc. Like Leonidas down to the 8-second BKB. It's still long enough, but it's not a good feeling, right? Like, none of this just makes you feel good on SKG. Like, it doesn't feel like anything in the game has presented itself as an opportunity from bait. They've been playing very safe, very clean. Full AC up now, though, for Leonidas, so that can help. It helps you mitigate through, especially the Monkey King output, and combine that with Crimson Guard. This is a lot of utility on hand, but you're still 10k behind. You're 25-9. Bait just, I mean, they're just doing whatever. You know, they're working on a Hex coming out here for Stominen. Dendi, not too far off from some protective items now as well in the Lincolns. Doom's just not going to be as great if Dutra can even find the angle for the Doom. It's a very slow and painful way to get shut out. Now, if Sand King Gómez managed to play their high ground defense strengths again. Play with the Ice Spire, play with the threat of Chain Frost and the Rolling Thunder.
Radiant's top tower is
Their
under
lineup can shine. It's just that you have to always keep an eye for Funnick, because if he does manage to get at least even just one Blink Skewer back, that could just open up this push for Bait that they've been really patient with.
Here we go. 4-man smoke up again from Bait. Even the shield room being bottled up here by Dendi going to feel very, very nice. Leonidas, Ducho, spotted for a moment. Oh, Ducho in the middle of nowhere right now, but Stonemaker's not seeing him. Instead, Harpoon is out. They caught the arc. RP committed immediately for Leonidas. No buyback available. And they'll find another, it seems, as Yambura barely alive. Stonemaker now the one in danger as they do commit the Doom out, but do they have the follow-up damage? They are trying with Lund and they might just have him. He's still going, but Stonemaker eventually dies. Ducho does go down with him. 9 still being chased down to the Pugna. Should die, and with the Nullifier will do so. So a 4-for-1 trade. Stonebank going down. That makes that maybe 5. It could be a full team wipe to come out. Lund will try to swash away. Nullifier will be there, but ultimately they do not want to dive too far. The thing is, though, it doesn't feel like Bait can really go for the high ground push without Stonebank up.
Yeah, losing the Monkey King does cut off a lot of that push. I mean, you really need the Desert to kind of melt through here. And they find some opportunities on Sand King Gómez. Again, high ground defense. They get a really good Ice Spire plus Chain Frost coming out from Yanbora. That is enough to keep them in the game. And I have to say, Funnick maybe a little bit trigger happy with those RPs, right? Like he gets in, he gets the skewer back. He still opts for the RP on Leonidas early on in the fight, where I think this is the point in the game where you probably just want to save it for something slippery. Like, again, catching the Pangoliers, maybe your biggest challenge right now on the side of Bait. So you just save the RP to get that to 10 points more and kind of go from there. Still, Bait, 12k advantage coming out from Sand King Gómez, still trying to enable as much as they possibly can Leonidas on that Alkin, even Ducho. You know, you need that BKB on the Doom. You need so much more utility to come out here. And time, well, time is being stalled out. So depending on how long more this goes, this could get a little bit tougher for Bait to try to pierce that high ground defensive shell.
I mean, they're still in here, SKG. Bait grouped up again. Down towards the bot lane. Both sides might run into each other 5v5. Bait will be the ones to pop the smoke. Only person that wasn't smoked is Dominant, who can just walk with his skeletal walk anyway. Tormentor is up though, so SKG going to go back for that instead, it seems. Meanwhile, Stonemaker's picked up his own Nullifier now. It's SKG. They do go ahead and take the Tormentor on their own. They'll 5-man smoke now after that. So they've got the Pugna Shard as well, which is quite nice. Like the Nether Ward with the Life Drain can be quite impactful throughout a team fight.
Yeah, can be strong. We'll see if they'll have some impact in this Roche fight.
Oh, could be good timing. Could be very good timing for SKG to try and jump in. Swashbuckle, Boundless though does connect. They want to burst down London immediately, and with the RP they can. Now Dendi moves into both supports, bursting them both down. Meanwhile, Stonemaker just going right after Roshan, not even leaving the pit. Just pops the Wukong's command in the Boundless, takes Roshan. They even got the buyback committed from Pango, but Lund will find nothing for his trouble, as he was trying to make it through the twin gates to get there. But Bait now with the Aegis Cheese up. 17k advantage. I mean, it's just as good as going high ground now. Maybe once Wukong's and RP are back up and available, you just go high ground, go for the easy push.
Yeah. You don't have to be scared of too much here on the side of Bait. They've even got the refresh coming out here for Funnick as well. So double RPs now ready to go. You've got the BKB up and running on Ducho. We've got to see him get some better dooms. Like, it's just super awkward. I feel like Ducho can kind of catch these doom targets before he dies, but whenever that happens, there's no backup. Other times his backup is there. He's not able to get the doom off. Like, the circumstances that SKG find themselves in are not the most straightforward for the initiation, but they have got to find a way to make this work. It's got to come out.
Here we go. They'll have their opportunity. Ducho jumps in, quick stun out. Stonebank though pops his BKB, a 3-man boundless strike out as well with the Wukong's command. They've got to run. At least RP is whiffed. Funnick will not land the initial, but he does have the refresher orb if he wants to commit for a second. He'll hold on to it for now. And Bait, I mean, they might back off again. Stonebank, he wants to go. Never mind, he will not go.
They respect the counterplay coming out from SKG. They've kind of taken a loss up there on the high ground last time around on Bait, so just gonna let them take control of that area. That does lead to the slower game. Again, this is more time for Sand King Gómez to build up, to catch up. They've been using that space really well on Lund, on Leonidas, on Ducho. It's just got to pay off at some point. And for Bait, I mean, at some point here as well, you do want to get moving. You do not want this Alch to be back in the game. You do have good solutions, but the Alchemist is still an Alchemist as the game drags on here.
Wait. I just go back for the Wisdom Rune on the right side. Never mind that. Stomina will take care of it perhaps, but Stonebank, he's a man of business. Wants to go right after the tier 3 tower once again. Double RP is back up and available. Leonidas will charge up a stun. We'll throw it onto Stonebank, but it really means nothing. That tier 3 tower, it is melting very quickly. Glyph will be forced. Jump in, nice skewer back, Funnick. He's found the Alchemist immediately. They need Leonidas alive, but with the double RP out, he's got no chance. And now Stonebank, Nullify committed on 9. Maybe he's going a little bit too far, but he does have the Aegis still up. So he does lose the first life. Problem is, Ducho's got Doom available. Dendi gonna try and hold him with the Aether Remnant into the Static Storm. It's a perfect setup. Ducho gets a BKB Doom off, but it won't matter. Oh, you've got to call it, I think. This game is just way too far gone for SKG. And Bait, they are pinging out tier 4 towers. They want this game over.
Yeah, they've got the opening. What did Ducho even doom up?
Yeah, that's a good question. That is a very good question.
I didn't see it on Stonebank. I didn't see it on anything. Did he doom a creep?
He may have. It's been a tough game for Ducho. Been a very tough game, to say the least.
Look at that push.
No GG call will be made by SKG. So, Bait, they'll say GG. SKG looks like they'll quickly disconnect out of the game. Lund will at least hand a GG over.